What's up, basketball fans? Welcome to the Warriors Report. It's time to talk about the Toronto Raptors because they made a surprise signing in the buyout market that not a lot of people had expected. So I'm going to be talking about this player and how this player is going to help the Toronto Raptors make the playoffs and also have a really positive impact in helping their bench scoring as well. So if you're ready to watch this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. If you wish to hit the subscribe button as well, that would be very much appreciated. And as some of you guys may know, I'm doing a giveaway for a Raptors t-shirt and hat, whichever one you want. Just let me know in the comment section. Let me know what size as well. And then if you're a non-Raptors fan and you're watching this, all you have to do is hit the subscribe button, make your subscription public, and then comment down below whether you want a hat or a t-shirt of any other team you may follow. So with that being said, guys, let's get into today's video. Now, as you guys know, I do like to give out shout outs on my channel, and the shout out for today's video goes out to Gregory. So Gregory, thank you so much for supporting this channel through your likes and comments. It is very much appreciated. And let's talk about the surprise player. And this player is no other than Will Barton. Now, I want to talk about this. That was being reported by Adrian Wojnarowski. That free agent Will Barton is signing with the Toronto Raptors after completing buyout with the Wizards. Barton will join Toronto and will be eligible for a playoff roster. He played in 29 career postseason games with the Nuggets and the Blazers. Now, I want to throw a little bit, you know what, I said you so kind of thing. I'm going to post this conversation I had with my good friend Andrew, and he's asking me which free agents out of the buyout market I'd like. And I said, you know what, I really would like someone like a Will Barton. I don't know if the Raptors will make any moves, but they did. And it really caught me by surprise. When I saw that tweet, I was at work. It caught me by surprise. I'm truly, truly excited. Now, let's talk about what impact he will have with the Raptors, because we know the Raptors are a team that clearly struggles with three-point shooting, that struggles with bench scoring and spacing the floor as well. And those are the three marks that he checks off for the Toronto Raptors. Now, taking a look at his stats here, you'll notice throughout his career, he has been an excellent three-point shooter throughout the career. In fact, the last time he shot below 36% was way back in 2018, 2019. The last 4 seasons, he has shot 37, 38, 36, and 38% again this season with the Washington Wizards from the three-point line. I know his field goal percentage may not look great as he's only hitting 38% of his shots, but that's okay. The Raptors don't need him to make a lot of crazy plays out there. Like, they don't need him to, obviously it'd be great if he could realistically hit, 50% of his shots, but the reason they brought him in is to be a good floor spacer and also provide something that the Raptors desperately lack, which is depth at the shooting guard / small forward position. Will Barton is listed at 6'6", 185 pounds, so you can kind of play him in both positions. And I want to talk about his playoff career as well, because I feel like when we talk about certain guys, we truly do not talk about this enough. And taking a look at his playoff career statistics here, you'll notice. And taking a look at his playoff career, I mean, he's had a pretty interesting playoff career, to say the least. But even just last season with the Denver Nuggets, like, you look at his three-point percentage is absolutely insane. On 5.6 attempts, he's shooting 39.3%. He's also, he got 13.8 points. And you look at some of the rebounds, assist numbers as well, man, that's pretty impressive. That's really impressive if you ask me. Now, do I expect him to do that with the Toronto Raptors, where I expect him to put up big numbers? Absolutely not. Like, let's be honest. I'm not expecting him to score 15, 20 points, but what he does do is bluster the Raptors bench. In fact, when you take a look at this screen up here, you'll notice this is what the Raptors bench could potentially look like. Having Precious and Chris Boucher at the front court. If Nick Nurse decides he wants to use Thaddeus Young, he could have him in the middle as someone that can kind of just pass and make plays. And then you got snipers in Gary Trent Jr. and Will Barton Jr. as well. This is, I mean, call me crazy. The Raptors bench could possibly be better in floor spacing than the starting lineup. Like, this is really good. We know Gary Trent is going to be just launching threes from the three-point line. Now, add into the fact that you got Will Barton there as well, a tall shooter. Again, I want to emphasize on the fact that he's a good tall shooter, because the Raptors have signed guys in the past like Matt Thomas. Unfortunately, height does factor into how often you're able to get off your three-point shot. So being 6'6" is really going to help him. And obviously, look, this is going to be absolutely excellent. Chris Boucher can space the floor. Precious can somewhat space the floor as well. But now this essentially allows Precious to really operate in the paint and really attack the basket while being surrounded by 3 pretty good three-point shooters as well. Look, Thaddeus Young isn't a great three-point shooter, but Thaddeus Young, you can honestly operate in the middle. You can have him move the ball really well as well. So now essentially the Raptors, if they decide, again, it all depends on Nick Nurse. If he decides he wants to play guys like Thaddeus Young and obviously give other guys minutes as well, now all of a sudden you're 10 deep. That has been the big issue for the Raptors last season and this season as well, where it's like you don't have enough consistent bench talent because there's too many inexperienced young players off of the bench, right? So now you have all of a sudden guys like Will Barton, who has really good NBA experience. Not only that, he's a good three-point shooter. And obviously, everyone talks about the three-point shooting with Will Barton as well. But one thing I really want to emphasize on What I think he's going to help the Raptors with is smart, high IQ basketball. If you take a look at his highlights, just watch one video. Even though he's having somewhat of a down season with the Washington Wizards, you'll notice one thing about Will Barton. He's not someone that only shoots three-pointers. He is also a very underrated passer. Like, he makes good high IQ basketball plays, which is so essential for a Raptors team that really struggles with moving the ball as well, and that focuses so much on ISO heavy basketball. So having Will Barton come in there, and again, that was just highlighting the bench. You could mix and match and get very creative with starting players and mix and bench guys as well. So this is going to be very interesting. Again, I think this is going to be crazy. I think this is going to be one of those moves you look back at the end of the season. You're going to say, wow, he really made an impact on the Toronto Raptors. Like, I see him having an impact similar to what Thaddeus Young had with the Raptors last season, where he really helped them make that push for the playoffs as well. So again, it's sad to see Juancho Hernangomez go. He was waived, obviously, to make a roster spot for Will Barton. But let's be honest, the Raptors have a lot of front court players, and I mean, with all due respect to Juancho, like, he wasn't really doing much out there. He was also a defensive liability as well. In terms of Will Barton, though, now you get guard depth. This is going to be excellent for the Toronto Raptors. And I truly, guys, I truly cannot explain how excited I am. I'm getting goosebumps, and this is like 7 hours after the signing was announced. So I'm personally really excited about Will Barton. I think he's going to change the way the Raptors do things. Like, now all of a sudden, you have so many more guys off the bench that can space the floor. If it's just Gary Trent Jr. off of the bench, that's one thing. Like, other players, other teams can double Gary Trent Jr. But now you got Will Barton there as well, as someone who's got good size, who can space the floor, who can make smart, high IQ basketball plays as well. So personally, I'm excited. The big question here will be, though, how much will Nick Nurse actually utilize him? Because look, that's the thing. The last thing I want to see is Nick Nurse playing Will Barton 10, 13 minutes a game. Like, if you're going to play him a good 20 minutes, because he's one of those players that will really have an impact on the Raptors offense greatly. And I truly mean that. So again, this is ultimately going to be a test for Nick Nurse as well. I know, look, the entire season I've said the Raptors aren't doing well because it's a roster construction issue. Now, Masai Ujiri has gone out and made a move that, look, let's be honest, he's filled the guard position. The only position you could really argue the Raptors need to focus on is the point guard position. But look, that's a topic for another day. But he got a center. He got a 3-point role player that can play off the bench in the guard depth, right? So now this is on Nick Nurse. This is also truly, I believe, a way that Masai Ujiri is not only going to evaluate the roster, but also the coaching staff as well. If the Raptors fail to make the playoffs or do not succeed as a team now and still struggle to shoot threes, that's going to fall on Nick Nurse, because he's clearly not utilizing the roster. And I really hope Nick Nurse doesn't do this. The last thing I want to see is 5-7 minutes of Will Barton. Play him good, heavy 15-20 minutes a game. That's what you have him for. You got a lot of depth on that bench now. This is going to be great for the Raptors. So again, Masai Ujiri got a lot of hate from me personally for not fixing some of the holes on the roster. He's done a great job now. Will Barton, when you think about it, 38% from the 3-point line. If you talked about the trade deadline, for example, Raptors didn't make any moves. They didn't get floor spacers. That was a big topic, right? And there's a lot of talk about, well, they could have traded this, they could have traded that. Now they got, essentially, you didn't give up any picks, you didn't give up any assets. You essentially got a guy for the buyout market who's shooting 38% with good NBA experience. That's what you need. You need good quality players off of the bench, and that is exactly what the Raptors have found. So personally, guys, I'm super excited. I'm going to end this video. I'm very excited to hear your thoughts. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. How do you feel about this signing? Are you excited? Would you rather have the Raptors sign a point guard? Do you think he's going to make a big difference? Let me know in the comment section below. And as always, I do have a trivia question for you today. And this trivia question is very simple. And this is, which team was Will Barton drafted by? Was it A, the Pistons? Was it B, the Nuggets? Was it C, the Pacers? D, the Blazers? Or E, the Wizards? Whoever answers this trivia question correctly first in the comment section gets a shout out in my next video. So that will be it for today's video, guys. I do want to announce one quick thing before I end the video. I'm actually going to push the date to when I announce the winners for the t-shirt and hat giveaway for actually in about 24 hours. So let's make the announcement on Thursday, because I'm actually going to be flying out Sunday. So what I don't want to do is not be able to give you guys those prizes, because, you know, when you're traveling internationally, it doesn't really allow you to use your visa properly, right, that time. So especially when you're buying online stuff. So I'm going to announce the winners on Thursday, this Thursday. So stay tuned for that as well. So again, thank you guys for your support. I appreciate it. And I wish you guys have yourselves a great day.